Just want to start by asking you what the Department of Agriculture is doing to bring beef prices down for Americans.
Well, first of all, Jackie, it's so great to be on with you again. Thank you so much for having me. Listen, what we are facing in America today is the direct result of a war on cattle by the previous administration. Frankly, a war on agriculture and a war on farming in general. When you've got a prior administration that is basically blaming cattle for their crazy climate agenda.
With the midterms approaching, how do you see this playing out? Is food affordability really becoming a test of whether the Trump administration can deliver on its economic promises?
Under Joe Biden, the cost of food went up almost 25%. I mean, this is what we're battling against right now.
And remember, we did not get here in a day, that we were left with a mess.
Even though the debt is too high, even though we inherited this debt bomb from the Biden administration, we actually do have a plan to get the economy growing faster than the debt. And that's the most important thing. The issue that we've had under the Biden administration and what we're still kind of dealing with is that the debt was growing faster than American GDP. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. That's something that we're certainly fixing every single day in the Trump administration. But you know, even though the media doesn't cover this, I'm glad you're asking this question, because Scott Bessent is very much on top of it. He knows it's a problem, and he's got the president's empowerment to do something about it.
Everything he just said is wrong. Again, these people keep borrowing from like Star Wars 8. Everything he's saying is wrong, Willie. I mean, we're 19 months into the second Trump administration, and they're still blaming Joe Biden. And first of all, war on cows? Really? You're going to blame a war on cows for the fact that tariff policies and all the other horrific policies that are being put in place continue to cost groceries, make groceries spike, continue to make rent spike? Willie, just on the last issue about debt and on deficits, I actually do know something about this. I don't know if I told you I was in Congress. We balanced the budget 4 years in a row, the only Congress that have done that in 100 years. Let me just tell you, Donald Trump, in his first term, before Joe Biden was president, before Joe Biden stepped into the Oval Office, he oversaw deficit spiking a record number, 317%. Deficits went up from the beginning of his term to the end of his term, 317%. That increase from Obama. In the second term, already in his first year, CBO is projecting it's going to at least be a 20% increase so far this year. During Biden's final year, deficits were actually going down. Now, once again, they're going up. So there are three things they cannot deny, Willie. Number one, under Donald Trump, term one and term two, we've had the largest deficits in the history of America. In fact, Donald Trump has accounted for one out of every $3 in our federal debt. Think about that. He's president 45 and 47. Well, yeah, he has been responsible for 1/3 of our federal debt. The other 44 presidents will take the 2/3. Secondly, we have the highest deficits ever. That's based on his choices for tax cuts for the rich, his choices for making the Pentagon spending go up to record levels, his choice to start an unnecessary war that is costing us billions and billions of dollars, and his choice to actually put out the biggest, most pork barrel budget of all time. This is on him, not cows. It's on him. And the numbers show it clearly. And I think the American people are smart enough, Willie, to understand that. But
yeah, they
anyway,
can count. They know it's been almost 2 years since Joe Biden was in power, 19 months. They know that the debt has gone up over the last year or so, $1 trillion every 5 months. Think about that. It was $1 trillion less in March. It was $1 trillion less than that in October. $1 trillion every 5 months. And you touched exactly on the farmer question. Farmers are really upset, not about the Green New Deal, which, by the way, never passed. They're blaming the Green New Deal that did not become law. It's a theoretical concept from members of the Democratic Party. Blaming that. Tariffs, farmers are upset about. And inflation that's obviously driving the price of their fertilizer through the roof, which may be in part why you're seeing races tighten up so much in the state of Iowa. We'll get to that in just a moment. But this dismissive approach we saw from so many members of the administration yesterday, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, he said 40 trillion isn't some magic number. We can grow our way out of that, and kind of waved it off. Wasn't worried about the jobs number. Once we end this war in Iran, prices come back down. Everything's going to be fine. There's literally no concern about what's happening to Americans, to working Americans in their daily lives right now. The arrogance that we saw on display yesterday, because it's not affecting them or their friends. All the prices and the trillions of dollars we're adding to the debt, they just don't really acknowledge it. And it is, the numbers are the numbers. Donald Trump's been president now in the second term for 19 months, pathetically blaming Joe Biden, who hasn't been here for that long, and adding every 5 months another $1 trillion to the debt.
Well, and Willie, 40 trillion is not a theoretical number. It is a real number. And as I said yesterday, if you want to put perspective on how much that is, if you made $1 million every day, $1 million every day, it would take what? Thousands and thousands of years. I think 20,000 years to get enough money to pay that debt off. It's just absolutely staggering. I think it's actually even more than that. But bringing it like back to where we are right now, American tax dollars are actually being blown on paying interest on the debt. We are spending more money paying for Washington's debt that's been juiced by Donald Trump and, truthfully, all presidents this century, but especially Donald Trump. I'll just say again, when I left Congress in 2001, we had a $155 billion surplus. So all these people running and going, oh, it can't be done. It can't be done. That's what people said when I first ran. It can be done. But they have absolutely no will. They want to spend more on everything. They make no choices at all. And it is the U.S. tax dollar that ends up being left with the bill, the interest payment. So we're paying more to service our debt than we are defending our country. And when you spend more, when any country spends more historically on debt service than on defending their country, well, that's the beginning of the end. Washington better get serious soon, because Donald Trump and Scott Bessent and this administration and J.D. Vance, oh my God, they have no clue how much trouble we're in, or if they do understand how much trouble we're in, they're just lying through their teeth.